glass half what? Half full. And so I am saying that the learning foundation for your children begins now, because learning nurtures just about everything, your children's language skills, their emotional skills, the physical development. That's what learning does. If you don't train your brain, if you sit down with your hand on your side, like Mr. and Miss Sporting, then you would have defeated the purpose. You cannot sit there, parents. You cannot accept defeat. If you accept defeat, it means that you are thwarting your children's learning and their education. And I want to say to you again, and let me read the poem again to you, that if you don't remember Mrs. Reed saying anything else to you, remember I'm saying to you, train your brain to find new connections, new innovations, new opportunities, new possibilities that otherwise you would have missed had it not been for COVID. God bless you, Mr. Spence.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Reed. And no, as I said before, this is not going to be a long meeting. We hope to finish by 7:30 latest. And so parents, I'm saying get your questions ready. And as I turn over to our principal,
new possibilities that otherwise you would have missed had it not been for COVID. God bless you, Mr. Spence.
Sorry. My apologies. Good evening, Mr. Richard, and welcome. Floor is yours, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Spence. Sir Spence.
Yes, sir.
PTA President, all members of his executive body, the Chairman, Mr. Foster, Donald Foster, Vice Chairman, Dr. Mortimer Mullins, all of the members of the board present in the meeting, Vice Principal Winsome Reed, members of the school's leadership team, teachers, parents, guardians, students, other members of the Carthy Primary School family. Good evening. What a wonderful time it is to be alive and well. Great opportunities, and that is one of the things I pulled from Mrs. Reed's message. Despite the challenges, opportunities are there. It boils down to our mindset. It boils down to how we want to approach things. We can stick our heads in the sand and just throw our hands up in a mode to give up, which we will never encourage, because that is not part of the Carthy Primary School family tradition. It's not a part of our virtue. That is not our practice. Or we can fight through knowing very well that at the back end of this struggle we are going through, we will come out much better, much stronger, more resilient, better teachers, better parents, better members of the board, better leaders. Good? And that is what our focus is on. Our focus is on looking at the potentials, looking at the opportunities that we can gather from this, and doing our very best to align ourselves to be effective teachers and effective learners, even during these difficult times. I am going to quickly share with you some of the things, update us to some of the things that are happening at the school, and then through Mr. Spence, allow for questions to be asked of members of the school's leadership team. I want to point out to you, colleagues, that parents are all in the meeting, that the school has not stopped working. Our teachers are delivering lessons daily. Administration is viewing lessons, as well as other members of the administrative team are at the school almost, daily, continuing to prepare, because we expect that soon and very soon, we will be reopening face-to-face instructions. As to the exact date, I am not in a position to say. However, I have every confidence that very soon we will be among those schools that will be transitioning to face-to-face instructions. Now, the school has gone through, has started and completed several projects geared at being COVID compliant, several projects that are geared to ensure that the safety of all persons who access the compound now and when we reopen for face-to-face, their safety is guaranteed. It is at the highest possible level. Of course, parents, you know that you're not allowed to enter the compound. No individual is allowed to enter the school compound without a mask. Not only must you have a mask upon entry, but you must keep that mask on and properly on. You will be required upon entry to stop at the front gate. If you are in a vehicle, all drivers and all passengers of the vehicle, their temperatures will be taken and recorded. So too we would need the names of persons who access the compound. Please understand, parents, that this is a requirement of the government of Jamaica through the Ministry of Health and Wellness. So please, we're asking for your compliance. We will also at the time, at the gate, sanitize parents, and then parents will be allowed access to the compound. For those parents upon accessing the compound, you will notice, as well as students in the meeting, you are going to notice that the moment you go to any corridor, there are going to be markers. Those markers are there to indicate to you the distance you should keep from the person walking ahead of you. There are also arrows on the corridors. These arrows show to you the direction that you should walk while using these markers. And the system is a very simple one. It's keep left. So when students or parents or teachers are going up the stairs or down the stairs, you keep left. When using corridors, keep left. Classrooms will also have markers in them to show where the furniture should be placed, where desks or chairs should be placed. Boys and girls, you will not be allowed to move the furniture from the designated area that it should be placed. The furniture will be so set up that you're 3 feet away from the person next to you. You will also notice that there are many signs, many messages all over the compound. Signs encouraging you to wash your hands frequently and how to wash your hands. Signs reminding you to maintain distance as you walk or use the compound. Signs remind you to keep your mask on. There'll be many signs on the compound, boys and girls, as well as parents who use the compound. All of these signs, you must adhere to the message posted on them. We also want to remind you, parents, that while using the compound, you're going to find that there are several stations posted around the school. These are hand washing stations. These stations are to be utilized. Upon entering the compound, you will find that there are about 3 stations while walking in. We especially for those students who are using public transportation or parents, please feel free to wash your hands thoroughly and properly as you pass the stations. For the students who are in grades 1 and 2, as well as the 2 grade 3 classes downstairs, you will also find that inside your class is a hand wash station. We consider it a priority to ensure that the students, especially our younger students, who we know will have a more challenging time to adhere to these new standards, these new protocols. Because of the challenge, we spent extra to ensure that there are wash stations in the classrooms for the grades 1 and 2 students. So it therefore means that students who need to sanitize, students of grades 1 and 2 need to sanitize, they won't have to leave their classrooms. We intend, though, that at the earliest convenience, to have these stations in all other classrooms. We have already put in the plumbing work. So it is just for us to raise the funds, to buy the sinks, and to install them in the other classrooms. What we're trying to do, parents and students, teachers, all members of the meeting, what we're trying to do is to minimize the need for students to leave the classroom in order to sanitize. That is our aim. You will also notice, parents, that at the tuck shop and the canteen, there are going to be several markers that are put out. This will ensure that students do not form bundles and maintain these distances while getting break or lunch. Please note that in most cases, as was the original plan, in most cases, the lunches and the breaks will be taken to the classrooms, hence minimizing the need for the students to leave. Again, safety is a priority. We also are relying heavily on you, the parents. We need you. We need you to start informing your children, sensitizing them, that when they get back to school and they see their friends, as excited as they are, safety comes first. Well, I can also confirm that we are indeed preparing an orientation video, a sensitization video, that it is our expectation that by early next week it will be ready to be sent to all the parents group. And what is the objective of this venture is to ensure that parents and students can see the video and they can know what to expect and to prepare. Indeed, we're not just rushing to open, but we want to open the school safely. It makes absolutely no sense that the school is opened quickly and then the worst happens. We want to take every precaution to ensure that all students, teachers, parents, administrative staff, all members of staff, all those who utilize the compound, that the highest level of safety is observed. Please understand that even with the challenges we face, we continue to do online teaching. Yes, we are using the Zoom platform as well, complemented with Google Classroom as our main platforms, our main vehicle to deliver learning to the children. In a recent meeting, some of the challenges, and I'm sure today's meeting it will come up, some challenges are brought to our attention. I wish to remind all parents that we are all in this struggle together. We have been doing this business of education for years, decades, centuries. And we have learned and developed a particular way of educating our children. In less than a year, we had to change, make a most drastic change. And I want to take the opportunity to applaud the teachers of the school for accepting the need for this change and making the adjustments. It would not have been easy. It was not easy to make this change. There were teachers who were learning to use certain devices for the first time, certain applications for the first time. It was frustrating, of course, but they stuck to it. They stuck to it. They kept on working at it. And as a result, we were applauded by the National Educational Inspectorate for the quality online teaching we're delivering. We know it is not perfect, but we will continue to work and get better and better at it, with the hope that very soon we can go back to face-to-face. So kudos to you, teachers. Also want to commend the parents especially those of you who stay beside the child and say, look here, pay attention. Those of you who come home in the evening tired as you are and say, come, let me see what you did. Those of you who have the children, as inconvenient as it may be, beside your office desk and say, shh, don't talk too loud, mommy on the phone now. We commend you, parents. These are the sacrifices we need to make it work. Also wish to sing praises to the Ministry of Education that has given so much support to the schools during this time. Administrative staff, ancillary staff, all these persons who are here working so hard to facilitate this change. Big up on yourself. Thank you. I appreciate the hard work you have put in. And it will pay off, you know. It will pay off. It will pay off when we see that our children continue to progress, even though we're facing the challenges. So big up yourself, everyone. I do believe that we are getting there. We're pushing forward. It's not perfect. And I challenge you to find one school in the world that can say their system is perfect in light of what is happening. But nonetheless, we continue to be steadfast and we continue to push forward. Before I hand over to our parents, to Mr. Spence, to allow for the questioning so we can respond to concerns of the parents, I wish to make it known too that the school, through the Ministry of Education, has handed over 89 tablets to PATH students of grades 4, 5, and 6. Through the determination of members of the school, we sought sponsorship from some of our corporate donors. And I'm proud that Lions Club of St. Andrew donated 10 tablets to our students, to needy students. A past student, Miss Carol McIntosh, she sponsored the school 2 tablets to teachers whose devices may have failed and needed to continue good instructions. And on Thursday, we will be having a handing over ceremony where the Jamaica Money Marketing Brokers, JMB, will be presenting to the school, to students of grade 6, 9 more tablets. We continue to work hard as a school because we know the struggles our parents are facing. We know, we hear the cries. Parents who used to have a steady job, you're now working part-time. Used to be mommy and daddy work, you know, it's only mommy. It's a struggle. It's tough out there. And we're not leaving you. As a family, we stick together, especially during tough times. So during these tough times, we are fighting very hard to seek sponsorship. So students who are needy, those students who do not have devices, we're trying our very best to get devices for these students, right? So with that said, Mr. Spence, you may start the process where we respond to concerns or questions that the parents, teachers, or anyone in the meeting may have.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Okay, parents, again, if you wish to ask a question, please raise your hand. The raise hand feature is underneath participants. I see a number of persons with their hand raised. I see 3 persons so far. All right, before I ask my question.
Mr. Spence, very important. I just saw something. I'm watching the chat and I just saw a very disturbing message. I don't know if it's from a child. If you'll just allow me just to say, I do not wish to call the name, but others, if you read the chat, you'll see that message is very disturbing, that this is not the forum for such a message. I hope it's not a child or a parent, could not have been a child. Please refrain from posting such messages. They are unhealthy. Parents, please, if you're not well, hopefully you're with your child, control the child. I I do not expect what I just saw to be coming from a parent. So I'm going to say hopefully it's from a child then. And so parents, the child would not, or probably figure more or less that he could, could have typed that. So please, please control it. We're in a public forum and that message is so distasteful. Secondly, Mr. Spence, one of the things, just to piggyback on that, there are some teachers who ask me before you start to even say to the parents, speak to the children about the use of indecent language in the background, to the parents rather, about the indecent language in the background and the loud music. And that came to mind when I was just going through the chat and I saw that very, very disturbing. So parents, please, the teachers are being disturbed during engagement because of the music in the background. I was on in a class today, and yes, I heard it as well. Parents, please, please, it has to be done daily. Children, if you will allow me another minute, Mr. Spence.
Sure.
The children fail to meet deadline in handing in daily assigned work. They don't come back, I am told, even if they go for PE. Parents, you are to read the WhatsApp messages. I am just reading just like what the teacher sent to me. Parents, please read the WhatsApp messages. When they are sent, save your login code. Some parents are asking daily for the same login codes. Please save your login codes. If they are changed, then we will tell you, the parents will tell you. All right? And then one of the teachers said, these are just a few urgent messages. Again, the indecent language will not work. And I've been manning the chat, so to speak. So please, parents, please. Thank you, Mr. Spence.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Reed. I really need not to say anything more than what you just said. I support 100% all that you said. What I just did, in fact, I hope it works. I mute the chat. So parents, if you wish to participate in the meeting, please use the raise hand feature. And when I indicate to you, please unmute your microphone and speak. Okay, so the first person that I see with hand raised is Deandra Walker. Deandra. Don't know why that. Deandra Walker, can you unmute your microphone, please? Deandra Walker, can you unmute your microphone, please? Okay, I'm going to move on. Next person I see is Mr. Marvin Robinson. Marvin Robinson, can you unmute and ask your question, please, sir?
All right, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
All right, so my question is basically a two-part. I want to find out for the grade 2 students, are they all required to be at school back when the reopening starts? And also, if it's mandatory, if they are, let's say, asthmatic or thereabout, if it's wise to send them out, or they can still do the online classes.
Mr. Richards?
Okay, sir. Please understand that when school reopen, when we are allowed to reopen for face-to-face, it will be phased. We will ensure that students will have more than one modalities, more than one ways to continue learning. One will be face-to-face, and we will still continue online instructions. So students who are asthmatic or have any other respiratory challenges, and even if parents are concerned, or if you believe your child is performing better with online instruction, we will continue, right? That we will ensure happens.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Andrew Genius, can you please unmute your microphone and speak? Andrew Genius.
Okay, can you hear me?
Loud and clear, sir.
Okay. I listened to the message from the principal, and I was really moved by the preparations that the school have made to, you know, for the new phase of the learning process. And also, I would really like to commend the teachers for the work that they have done, you know, in putting together, you know, the online classes, and also for moving very swiftly in order to make necessary adjustments, you know, as it relates to, you know, the online learning process. Basically, you know, I really wanted to, you know, give, you know, commendation also to our parents, because as we go into this new phase, there will be a lot of challenges. So I really want to, you know, put a note out there, you know, for those parents who, you know, might, you know, be unprepared, you know, for this new phase. Basically, you know, as we are entering into this new phase of, you know, learning, then, you know, I would also want to recommend that if there's anything that deals with the spiritual nourishment of the child, then you should also seek, you know, some kind of counseling or some kind of, you know, advice from the parents or teachers or whomever, you know, can assist in this matter. So I just wanted to put, you know, a word out there, you know, as we enter into this new phase. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Genius. Okay, yeah, Mike. Delano Johnson. Can you please unmute and speak, please?
Good evening, everyone. This is Delana Johnson, mother. My question is.
What is your name,
Excuse
mommy?
me?
What is your name?
I'm Karen Woolry.
Okay.
Yes, Delana Johnson is in fourth grade. I was wondering, when does the fourth graders get the fourth grade test? The fourth grade literacy exam, but they normally do when they're in fourth grade.
Yeah.
So I was just wondering about that. And also, I've seen where other schools have come in with their classwork and homework, and they get the book marks and so forth. So I was wondering why not Carthy Primary School does that also. So that's my two questions.
Okay. Mr. Richards?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Ms. Woolsey, for the question you have asked, as well as to Mr. Genus. Really appreciate the encouragement, Mr. Genus. All right, so the question now, when will we have the grade 4 test? Usually the test is administered in June. Now we will continue our preparation. We must understand that the Ministry of Education fully understands the challenges right across the system. And that is why adjustments are being made. Good. So though the test is slated on record for June, it may be adjusted. The content may be adjusted, the level of difficulty may be adjusted, but in light of what is happening with the children, the ministry will make adjustments. That have been said, that commitment has been given by the ministry. Even in the minister's presentation, she pointed out that they started with the ability test so that because ability test does not focus on content. So they have been making adjustment because of the challenges that they recognize the entire system or students, teachers, parents are going through. In the same way, Ms. Woolsey, I expect the ministry to make necessary adjustment to the benefit of the students. Now, whether that means to push it back, the test back a little, whether it means to cut back on some of the content, whether it means to reduce the level of difficulty, I can't say. But I do know that the ministry has given the commitment that they are going to check to see what is happening right across the country and make adjustments when it comes to the national examinations. Now, as to your concern, books being brought to the school and marked, please understand that Carthy Primary School, as well as the schools in that little geographic area, we were in a zone, and I still believe we are, where it was deemed to be a high levels of transmission was taking place. We had outbreaks in communities right around us. Several of our children are from some of these communities. We are thinking about when a child is going to take, or a parent, someone is going to take a book to the school, you are increasing the risk of transmission, not just for the person transporting the book, but also those who receive it. And so what we decided on was that for the work being done as best as possible, it will be marked online. Again, we're focused on safety. I do not want to throw cold water on any school that is trying its best, because remember, not all schools are facing the same challenges. There are some schools in deep rural Jamaica where it is easy for this to happen because transmission is low. I can also tell you that there are cases, Ms. Ulrich, where transmission has occurred and it is suspected that is by books being taken to the school that the transmission occurred. It is suspected. So it is really out of safety. It's really out of safety that we don't take that risk.
Okay.
Sir Richard, one of my questions was in relation to what that parent just asked you, but it's more so regarding what the minister said in her presentation about the sixth grade PEP exam.
Yes,
is there any new updates? What in her address, she mentioned that the date for the exam, first sitting of the PEP exam is February 23. Since we are not one of the schools that was allowed to reopen physically, is there any indication as to what format will this exam be, whether or not it's going to be done online or face-to-face?
As far as, certainly, I appreciate the question, sir, because I'm sure it will clear up a lot for the grades, especially grade 6 parents. As far as we know, it will be a physical exam, face-to-face. The children will come in. As a matter of fact, we have already started, the ministry has already started canvassing, making their checks to determine if the schools are able to facilitate the administration of the exam, right? So yes, it is. I believe it will be a face-to-face exam administered physically. Students will come in, sit, and do the exam. What it means is that usually we would use 6 and 4, 10 classrooms. It now means that we may have to end up using, if necessary, all 24 classrooms to ensure that our students have adequate distancing and are safe. So when that exam is to be administered, it is most likely that no other student will be allowed to be on the compound other than the grade 6 students who are sitting the exam.
Okay, sir. Thank you. All right, I'm going to move on to Miss Livingston. Miss Livingston, could you please open your mic, unmute your mic, please?
Good night. This is kind of not really pertaining to the topic, but I'm just wondering when is it that you will have admission for a student that is currently in grade 5. So that's my younger brother. I would like to get him in Clancrity. So I don't know what is the requirement. Is it that he will be going back in grade 4, or as I said, he's supposed to be going into grade 5. So
Miss Livingston, I appreciate the confidence that you place in the school by showing your intention to have another child admitted to the school or relative admitted to the school. A case as you have described, I would prefer if you call the school tomorrow and let us discuss it, because for me to properly answer you, I would need information from you, which you can't give in this forum. So just give me a call tomorrow. Just call the school tomorrow. 928-5374. Mr. Spence, if you're able to, could you just put in the chat? Just call the school tomorrow, Miss Livingston, and we can discuss it.
Repeat the number, sir. Miss Brown, could you please text that in the chat for me, please?
No problem, sir.
Oh, you're welcome.
Repeat the number, sir, please.
928-5374.
Okay. Thank you.
5374. Okay, very nice.
Jordan Harris, unmute your microphone, please. Jordan Harris, unmute your microphone. Parents, if you raise your hand, please be ready to ask your question when you are called upon. Again, Jordan Harris, can you please unmute your microphone and ask your question? Okay, moving right along. Ava Ramsey, unmute and speak and ask your question, please.
Yes, good night. Hello?
We are hearing you, ma'am. We're hearing you.
Okay, one question. When school reopens for face-to-face, just want to find out, will it be an option for you to decide whether you want to still do online or you want to do face-to-face? Will there be an option situation or everyone will have to do face-to-face? We've never asked my son to do that. So for him to go back to school, it would be a challenge for me mentally because, you know, children don't normally wash their hands every time and all these things. So I would just like to know if this is for instance, school reopens this year, if it will be an option that some who want to do online can do online and who wants to do it can do it.
Okay. Our principal just answered that question. So let me answer quickly. If and when school, we are asked for school for us to meet physically, we will still have the option for online classes. That's a short answer. Okay? Does that answer your question? Miss Ramsey, does that answer your question? All right.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
All right. Kadian Johnson, please unmute.
Yes, yes.
Go ahead.
Good evening, everybody that is available now on this platform. I hope all is well. Firstly, I want to laud the efforts of the Carthy Primary School and, you know, trying to protect our children by enforcing such strict measures for their safety. Well done. A parent mentioned something earlier about, and it was just mentioned just now about the option of going face-to-face and online. My question with that is, my son is in Miss Fraser's class. I think it's about 36 or something like that. what happens when there are a lot of persons who want to come in when we do open, if and when we do open for face-to-face classes? What happens when a class such as Miss Fraser's has a lot of persons who want to go in and want to stay home? How does that? Because Miss Fraser can split that too, don't it? So how does that go? If 25 wants to go in and then the rest wants to do online, how would that be facilitated?
Mr. Richards?
Yes. Ms. Johnson, thank you for the encouragement. Mrs. Reed, even before I resumed, Mrs. Reed and the team had spent hours on hours debating this, hours preparing. Please understand that plans sometimes change from time to time. However, in putting plans together, we have to pull information. One of the things that we have been doing as a school is being in very close communication with those schools that are actually open for face-to-face. We have been speaking to the principals. We have been asking them, you know, what are some of the things that are happening? What are some of the challenges you're facing? What are some of the positives, the benefits that you're seeing? And we're doing this so that when our time comes, we don't want to make the same pitfall that others may have made. Now, what we recognize is that we will have to start canvassing, start putting out, getting information from our parents. So I can tell you, soon, very soon, parents, we are going to start sending out surveys to you to start finding out which do you prefer. Because yes, as the parents said, based on the response, it is going to affect the plan. If all the students in that class are going to come back for face-to-face, it now means that we have a challenge at the school to find extra space. If most of the students are going to stay online, it means that that challenge is not there. So what is going to start happening is that we're going to start reaching out to you parents in different groups to find out what is the preference, which would you prefer for your child? When we get that information, we can better plan class by class, grade by grade, and for the entire school, right? It is difficult to put these plans in order without having the information, and that is our first step. So again, parents, when we start to send out these forms to pull this information from you, please just fill them out and send them back so that the planning committee can come together and work on this. So that when we open, right, we can avoid as many glitches as possible. One of the challenges, Mother, that we face at the school is that most of the furniture for students, it's a double desk, right? Those are the desks where 2, sometimes even 3 students sit in. Now, they will only accommodate 1. Not only will they only accommodate 1, but they take up a lot of space. So when we have the single desk and chair, we recognize that the average size classroom at Carthy can hold 25. When we have the single desk and chair, the double desk and chair, that same classroom now holds only 16. So we know already that furniture is a problem. Good. So again, as we go through, we are going to put all of these different variables in place and to come up with the best plan. But the plan has certain objectives that must be met. And that is to offer online learning and face-to-face. The plan will cover that.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
Regarding to her question as well, she mentioned that her child is in grade 6. I'm sure whatever preparation that will be made for reopening of school, grade 6 will be given priority, considering that they're close to examinations, right?
Oh, certainly, sir. If we're instructed to reopen tomorrow, sir, I can tell you, grade 6 will be the only grade that will start tomorrow, even with the short notice, because of the challenge. We are just going to say, come in grade 6. If it means giving each grade 6 3 rooms to accommodate them, They will get it because, as we say, you know, as a family, you know, we have to look out for each other. We have to look out for vulnerabilities. Right now, grade 6 needs that special attention. So yes, sir, as other schools have been doing, once we get that green light, one of the first grades that will be required to return for those students who want to return will be grade 6. And of course, we can't leave out the grade 4 and 5 because they too may be sitting their exam later on in the year. And sir, you know it go already. The grade 1s are new, so we want them to come in.
Yes.
And sir, the grade 2 too, and the grade 3, but we have to give the priority to the grade 6, especially at the start.
All right, sir. Okay. Mr. Delana Stewart, please unmute.
Good night, sir. I'm Aisha Fars. I've been hearing about the grade 4, the grade 5, and the grade. What about 2 and 3 graders, like UNA's, you know, online work from last year, this year? If when school reopen or support, could be get a repeat or something like that?
1 second, please. 1 second, please. I'm not sure if I am the only person not hearing you clearly. What did you say about not getting online work? Please rephrase.
What you said, sir?
Your background is noisy. If you could repeat what you had said before, that would be good for us. We are not hearing you clearly.
Okay, I was saying for the grade 3 and the grade 2 students who haven't been in online class from last year to this year, they will be getting a repeat back over coming into this year, because I'm only hearing about the grade 4, the grade 5, and the grade 6.
Question, mommy. Are you saying that your child is in grade 3 and he or she is not
Yes.
getting any work online? Is that what you're saying? Hello? Mommy, are you
Yes,
hearing me?
sir.
Are you saying that your child
Yes.
is in grade 3 or grade 2 and that he or she is not receiving any online work? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Mr. Richards,
Yes,
how you
that's
want to deal with that,
exactly
this part? Do you want to have her speak to her privately?
I can address both. The original question I heard from her was, what about the students? She has been hearing a lot said about the grades 4 to 6, and what I heard, and I can be corrected if I'm wrong. What I heard, the initial question I heard was, and I'll address both. The initial question I heard is, what about the grades 2 and 3 students who missed out from last year into this year? They're not a part of the online lessons. Good? So that is one. I'll answer that one and I'll answer the second one. All right, so let me start with the first. It is unfortunate if we have a situation where a student, for whatever reason, is unable to access online learning. That is not something that we would ever want, but we do recognize, though, that we have some cases of it. What we're already working with the ministry and other stakeholders to do is that when we reopen for face-to-face, we realize that we're going to have to take a lot of our students and start going back and doing some one-on-one work on them. We're going to have to get in some volunteers, and this is where we might even call on some parents too for help, as well as others in the community, to assist especially the students who would have missed out and need a lot of work to catch up. Those students, it doesn't make much sense to put them into a group of 20 other students. They're just going to continue to fall further behind. It is better in most cases that they're placed in very small groups and we work at the specific areas of weakness. The question was asked too, will they get a repeat? Now, usually we're not quick to repeat students, but in light of what is happening, we don't have a challenge considering that option. However, we must ensure that the child is of age to be allowed to repeat. So if that is met and the parents in agreement and the teacher recommends, then we have no challenge having the child repeat. Now, if it is that the question for the other part that the mother said, the other question now, what about students who are online but are getting no work? Now, it is, I consider it most unusual if that is the case. And in such a case, parents, you have to get in touch with the parent, with the teacher immediately. Please remember that not only do students have the links to classes, but as far as I understand, every class has a WhatsApp group, a group that you can easily communicate with the teacher. So that is step one. Step one is to find out from the teacher what is happening, as you would have done in regular face-to-face class. If the child is coming over and say, look, I never get any work today, then I would expect that the parent would say, no, I have to get in touch with your teacher. So either you come to school the next day or you make a call. So even though it is online lessons now, would want the parent in such a case to contact the teacher. If no progress is being made, call the school, seek to speak to me, right? And then we will try to find out what is happening, because that should definitely not be the case.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Oh, and Mr. Spence.
Yes, sir.
I don't want you to overlook my VP, you know. Mrs. Reed knows the plan inside out. You know. So you don't have to show everything in one up like that. All right. All right. Mrs. Reed.
Okay.
No, man, I have every confidence. I'm here listening to you. You're on point. That's fine, Mr. Spence. He can answer them. That's fine.
You're so sweet. All right.
Davina Bigger Staff.
Good night, sir. When is school opening?
Okay. This sounds like one of my students. What is your name?
I muted the background noise.
That's Davina?
That's Davina Bigger Staff. That's what the name I said.
Please, Mr. Spence, I'm just asking you to just please allow us. I would really love for her to speak again. I mean, it's wonderful hearing the parents, you know. I couldn't tell when last I've heard out of my students. Just Davina, go ahead.
Good night, sir. What's asking when school opening?
All right, Davina.
Yes, sir.
All right, which grade are you in?
5th grade, sir.
You're in grade 5. All right, wonderful. You miss school, Davina? You want to come back? Okay, you want to come back on the compound, miss your friends?
Yes, sir.
Your teachers, I understand. All right, Davina, the truth is, I don't have a specific date to tell you. It is the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Health that will come together to say when different schools will open. I am hoping, and I'm even afraid to say this, but I will nonetheless. I am hoping that we'll be allowed to reopen the school within the next 2 weeks. I am hoping, right? I really would love for us to start making the transition to reopen the school. So Davina, I can't say exactly when, but what I want to do, what we're all working on doing, is that as soon as the ministry allows for schools to open, we want to be ready. So when we get the green light, we just want to go. So that's what we're working on, all right?
And sir.
Yes.
When will we get a teacher?
I'm so sorry, Davina, but I'm not hearing you clearly.
When we will get in a teacher?
Okay, the question, Davina, you have asked a very good question there now. Davina, is a grade 5 student and her teacher is Miss Clark. Now, I'm saying this, Davina, because maybe other parents are not aware of what is happening. So I'm explaining it. Miss Clark, who is one of our stalwarts at the school, has served the school over 20 years, is a senior teacher. She was the head of grade 5. She has started her retirement. The Ministry of Education has given the school approved the school the ability to employ a new teacher. You listening to me, Davina? Now, we are now in the process of going through the different teachers who want to work at the school. We are going to look to start interviewing them by early next week. What we want to do is that we want to find the best teacher we can find for your school. All right. So we expect to sort that out by next week, Wednesday or Thursday. We're working hard to find the best teacher we can to place in the classroom. Okay, Davina?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you for your questions, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again.
All right, thank you. I want to follow up on a question that was asked earlier by a grade 3 parent. The grade 3 coordinator would like to address. Miss, is it Delano Stewart?
Delano Stewart, yes.
Yes, can you re-ask that question, please? The grade 3 coordinator would like to address. Delano Stewart?
Yes, sir.
Yes, please ask your question again. For clarification.
Yes,
Yes.
I was saying for the grade 2 and the grade 3 students who has missed out a lot from last year to this year, what would be happening for them? Because actually I've been hearing about the grade 4 and the grade 5 based on the prep and the test there that they're gonna do. So I was wondering about the grade 3 and the grade 2 students.
Okay, Mr. Lawrence, is that any clearer, sir? Mr. Lawrence?
Yes, it is, sir, yes.
Okay. Still want to address?
No, it's okay, sir, because that's the question. I was wondering, was she talking about the Google Classroom not having any work?
Okay. Okay.
Because there's work in the Google Classroom.
I'm not talking about, sir, Mr. Lawrence, I'm not talking about the Google Classroom. I'm talking like the online class. All right, for instance, Delano does not have a tablet. I'm trying my best to save to buy one. I'm a single parent. And the one that he did, a friend of mine lend me, the daughter is here, but so if from last year he haven't been in class. This year he was using his uncle's phone, but his uncle gone back to work, so he's not getting any more classes from that. So I was wondering what happened for those grade 3 students who missed out a lot. Would they be repeating, or they would do a test to see if they're still on the level that they're supposed to be on, or if they will be getting a repeat?
All right, thanks.
All right. Mommy, we will try to address that issue as much as possible. Look for follow-ups regarding that. Mr. Lawrence know who you are, so we'll follow up on that, okay? That's it, Mr. Lawrence?
All right.
Yes, sir, that's it.
Okay.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Fifey, is that the name right there? Zedane Fifey. Can you please unmute and speak, please?
Hello, good night. I want to find out whether or not, seeing that they're going to be having distance learning in the classrooms, or we're going to have additional teachers, how is the lunch going to be done for students on an everyday basis? Are they going to be going to school on an everyday basis? And would we have to provide their lunch for them? That's what I want to know.
Mrs. Reed, can you answer that question, please? Mrs. Reed, could you please answer that question?
Not getting. Would you like me to go ahead? Because
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
all right. Mother, as to what you're asking is a little challenge. There's a little challenging answer in it, because one of the things that we are going to have to determine as a school is about how many students are we going to accommodate each day. And we are going to find that out when we send out a survey to the parents to know how many are going to come in for face-to-face and how many are going to continue with the distant or online learning. That is going to trigger our response. That is going to guide our response. It is very easy to just make a plan and just hope it works, you know. It is far more effective to first find out what are the main factors you have to consider and how you're going to go about managing them. So now, lunches, a part of the plan is to have the lunches, to prepare lunches and have them brought to the classrooms so as to minimize the need for students to be leaving the classrooms, especially the younger children. That's the grades 1 to 3, especially those children. Good. We are also looking at staggering if needs be, dependent on how many students wish to come back for face-to-face. If there are too many, if there are so many that the school cannot facilitate all, then what we may have to do is for some days, a grade may go online for 3 days and then do face-to-face for 2, so as to give another grade the classroom space and so on. Now, again, it's difficult to say exactly what we will do until we gather that information from our parents. And that is what we intend to do, to get that information by Friday so that we can start putting the plans in place so we can know for grade 1 what we're going to do, grade 2, grade 3, right up to grade 6.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Miss Carl Pfeiffer, are you the same household? Asking this, Carl Pfeiffer, can you unmute and speak? Carl, can you unmute, please? I'm moving right along. Shauna K, unmute and speak, please.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
One of my question is that for the students who
Hi, good night.
I'm hearing you, madam. I'm hearing you. We're hearing you.
Yes, good night. All right. So my question is, have the board, the school board, have taken into consideration in having after school classes for like students who will be sitting PEP, like extra classes? Because honestly, being home with them and then, you know, many times it's more than one child I have to deal with, you know, it's very difficult to really monitor each child at once. So is it possible, or you guys haven't taken it into consideration as yet? If it's possible for you guys to do so, because it really help. The extra lesson will really help.
That is Miss Fife. Miss Fife who just spoke?
Yes.
All right, Miss Fife, we have already started having discussions regarding extra lesson My grade 6 have gotten the green light to go ahead, and we'll be examining the other grades as well. Right, so we have already started looking into that matter. So please just be a little patient. Most likely before the week is done, you'll be getting information on extra lessons.
Okay. Moving right along. Miss Daniel Wisdom. Good evening, Miss Wisdom. Can you please unmute your mic? Daniel Wisdom, unmute your microphone.
But they are PTA meeting. No, I forgot.
Wow.
Hello, good night, everyone.
Good night, Miss Smith.
No, sorry, not Miss Smith. It is Charmaine Allen. Right. Jordan and Jonathan's mom. Jordan and Jonathan Smith's mom. I came in a little bit late, but I heard the kudos going out to the teachers and the administrative team, and I'm seconding that. I think I believe you all have been doing a tremendous job. I'm no longer working, yes, due to COVID, but I'm really assured, knowing what I have seen so far taking place on the online learning platform. I think you are really doing a very good job. And I don't want to single out any teacher because I have not been across the levels to see what's going on or experience what's going on, but it is really, really appreciative. Now, apart from that, I wanted to find out if I would be able to get a list of what it is that we need to get ourselves in line with opening. What is it that Carthy Primary needs to get themselves together? I know I'm not working now, but I will do whatever it is that I can to contribute, and so I wouldn't mind knowing what is needed. It doesn't have to be given to me in the program here that is taking place, but I do believe the administrative staff has my email, so I'm going to ask them to send me the list, and I'll see what I can do.
Okay. Go ahead, Mr. Richard.
All right. Let me just express my regret to you, Ms. Allen. My regret that through COVID, you are no longer working. It is and also to all other parents, who are affected in a similar manner. It is my greatest desire. It is my hope, my prayer that, not only will you be re-employed, but you're employed in a position and with a job that pays you 10 times more and gives you 50 times more happiness. I am thankful because even in your state, you're still thinking about how you can give or help. And that speaks to the Christian nature in us. And it's everyone in the meeting, when we face difficult times, it is incumbent on us to look to rally together. It's not the time where you start thinking, make it alone. Rally together. I'm going to respond to you, but I just want to share something that a teacher told me, and I was so it just moved. A teacher shared with me. A teacher shared with me that in a community on a street, there are about 3 students of a grade living on that street. All 3 attend Carthy, and all 3 are in the same grade. And 2 of the students, their parents do not have internet, but they have devices. and the three parents came together. And what they did, they would go down to the parents' house, the one who has the internet, and they would sit away from each other and they would share the internet. And at the end of the month, them chump up together and contribute to pain. You know, that is what crisis calls on us to do, find solutions and work together. So thank you, Miss Allen, for even reaching out, even though you have far less. Yes, we have your email address, and you know I'm not going to hesitate to send a very detailed and comprehensive list of all the things we need. You know I'm not going to hesitate. So thank you very much. And also note, parents, we will be sharing with you before the week is over some of the things that we would encourage your children to have when school open, if when school open for face-to-face. Face shields, masks, sanitizers, and so on. So that is going to be shared with you, so you can start, you know, putting a little preparation items together.
Okay. Miss Wisdom, Daniel Wisdom, can you unmute and ask your question, please, Daniel? Okay, Daniel gone. Miss Clark, unmute and ask your question, please.
Excuse me, sir. Should we collect something at school?
Can you ask the next person in your house to mute that device, please, and then ask your question? I didn't hear you clearly.
Yes, I didn't hear that at all.
Sir, I asked you if we should collect something at school.
Parents, if more than one device is on at the same time in your house, you have to mute one of the devices. It will cause that feedback that we just heard a while ago. Okay, please mute one of the devices. Ms. Clark, go ahead with your question. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
I think the young lady, sound like a student, was asking if she's to come and collect something at school. I'm not sure what it is. I'm going to ask her if she's hearing me clearly to just have your parents call the school and ask about it. Please, parents in the meeting, all parents in the meeting, we continue to distribute textbooks. You can pick up textbooks from Monday to Friday between the hours of 9 and 1 o'clock. From 9 to 1, you can come and pick up textbooks. Please do not send a child to pick up the books. We cannot hand over the books to a child. An adult has to come. So please, parents, if you have not picked up the books, please come and pick up the textbooks. The teachers are using them. We have them at schools. A lot have not been picked up. Please come and pick them up.
Sir, does that apply to all grades?
Yes, sir. I know. Well, for some grades, most of the books have been distributed, but we have gotten some other books that we have passed out information to different grades to let the parents know that we have additional books for the grade and they are to be picked up as soon as possible. So for those parents, just please make arrangements, come and pick up as quickly as you can.
Okay, Ms. Brown, can you unmute and speak, please?
Hello, good night. Good night, everyone. I'm not sure if the situation has changed since week, but as far as I know, grade 4 hasn't received any textbooks as yet. So I don't want the grade 4 parents to go in and the textbooks aren't there. So as I said, I'm not sure if the situation has changed where books have come since week, but as far as we know, grade 4 hasn't gotten any textbooks as yet. Probably Mr. Richards could
And we are still yet to receive, Miss Brown.
Okay.
We are still yet to receive.
Okay, so I just didn't want the grade 4 parents to think books are there and go in.
What we do, parents, what we do, at the moment we get the books, if we get let's say we get grade 1 books, we contact the grade 1 teachers, and the grade 1 teachers send out messages in the groups, the WhatsApp group, to let the parents know that books are there, come and collect. So once you get the message to come and collect, that's when you come in. Without the message, please don't come. Or if you're not sure, please call the school.
Sir, grade 6 has received all their books so far?
Grade 6, all the books that we have gotten to be distributed, grade 6 have picked up. I think it's only perhaps about 4 or 5 books have not been picked up for grade 6.
Okay.
All right. And please note,
Yes,
there was a shortage of books right across the island. I know effort is being made to fill the gap. However, we have not gotten books for everyone as yet. So, I really regret the situation, but it's really beyond Clan Carthy's control. It is really right across the island that problem exists.
Okay. Miss Burton, can you please unmute and speak, please? Miss Burton?
Hello, good night.
Good night.
Yeah, what I'm saying, sometimes the online class me not getting through, and this minute it come on and they say wait for the host to let you in, and we're not getting through. So it kind of hectic for me sometimes during the day, and me have to work at daytime and something. So I don't know
What
when we
grade is
can.
that, mommy?
4th grade, 4th grade.
4th grade. What is the name of your child?
Kenelia Burton.
It's Kenelia Burton. Okay.
I fear something poor because when me send in somebody work them, me have work where we not do yet, and me have fear either screenshot it and me still not get the understanding of it because me not have a full internet. I don't have internet service me have to use, and it hectic for me at the time.
Okay. Do you know your child's class teacher?
Mr. Taylor.
Have you been in communication with Mr. Taylor and expressing those issues that you're having?
Yeah, I mean, always, but him send it like what him have to do now, is like sending it to the phone. And when him send it to the phone, me not at home sometimes. So when me reach back home at night, she have to write them off and then she have to do them is another problem that again, cause I'm me alone and me not really have no help with her. And then everything me understand, me not gonna tell you a lie. I mean, I know. It seems like we won't have in any school for now, so we have to just try as parents to help with the children. But
Richard?
Yes, sir. The parents Miss Burton touched on several issues a while ago. One, she spoke about having internet challenges. She spoke about having to pay for data and how costly it is. She spoke about the need, how much she's trying to help her child, but she too may not understand the work as well. I want to applaud, Miss Burton, and all parents like you who are sacrificing during these times. The bottom line is, if you're paying for data, the strength of the internet may not be as good, especially if the teacher is downloading large files. So if the teacher, for instance, is sharing a video, it's going to be very difficult. It's going to take longer to load, and it's going to eat up your data in no time. In no time, your data are going to be used up. What I'm happy though that you're communicating with Mr. Taylor, what I'm going to ask of you, Miss Burton, I know after you go out for the day, because you said you don't really have as much help to supervise her, and so you come home, you're tired and so. I'm begging you do. Just sacrifice even an extra 15 minutes with her and just see to it that she does work, because you said Mr. Taylor was sending to your phone and she have to write it down. So let her just write it down and just take a picture and send it by WhatsApp to Mr. Taylor for him to mark it and give her some feedback. You know, when children do work, you know, and they get a response and they get them right, it can really lift their spirit. It's a source of motivation. And even sorry, and even if it is wrong, it's at least it will let the teacher know that she still have some challenges and he needs to put more focus on it. So please, though it is tough, stay up a little with her, man, and let her get the work done and send it in. All right. You also made a comment. You never know if face to face they open for the year or something to that effect. Well, guess what? I am praying to God that that is not the case. And that is because we recognize as a school that many of our parents are sacrificing, they're spending money that they never budget for, money that they don't have, just to keep going with this online. And I know that some of your parents are just dying for school to reopen so that the expense will be cut, right? I know for some students, online learning is very effective for them. They love it, they're learning, and they don't want to change. For some students, it's not working out. Good. What we want is a situation where the option is there for all. The option is there to come into the school or to continue online. So I am keeping my faith up. I am keeping motivated. I'm keeping my hopes up that soon and very soon we will get the green light to reopen, because we want to go back to teaching. We want to see our children. We want to go back to teaching them face to face and online.
Right. Shauna K, please ask your question. Unmute and ask your question, please. Shauna K, can you please unmute and ask your question?
Hi, good night, everyone.
Yes.
You hear
Good
me?
night.
Yes, we are hearing you. We're hearing you.
Okay. Just to share on what Cornelius Burton's mother said, I'm also facing the same issue. My child is in grade 4, and he is not. I'm thinking he's not really learning online. There are many challenges. Both parents work. We have split households. So when they leave here in the evenings and go over, sometimes the work is not able to be done because they go to bed early. Sometimes they work late. So we have many issues. So I'm wondering, is there any materials like the work that the teachers would give? Is there any paperwork available that we can get so that we can reinforce the work that they get? Because I think he's moving from an A student, and right now I don't know where he's at, because there are some things that is being taught that he had learned before, and currently is like he's not sure what the teacher is talking about sometimes. So I'm not sure how that works. And sometimes when the codes are being sent into the WhatsApp group for like PE class or a guidance class, I'm at work, his father's at work, and we're not able to get them to log in because of various challenges. You have other students at home. We have to be trying to place them in various spots. The yard is not big enough. So we have many challenges. So my concern is that my child is falling behind, and I think other parents may have that issue also. We're not able to supervise them on a daily basis. So that's where I'm having issues, and I don't know if you have any suggestions that we can and can
Okay, Mrs. Reed, you had fallen off the call. Can you address that parent for us, please?
Yes, I'm having, as you can realize, internet challenges. I don't know what is going on. Um, I think right through, Mommy, Mr. Richards would have spoken to some of the issues. As I said in my opening statement, the challenges that you're having are in no way unique to you. Where parents, you have to work. If you don't work, then you can't really provide for your children. But just thinking off the top of my head, there's something that you call that is called collaboration. So while it is that you have to go out to work, Mommy, are there any guardian, any family members, guardians or family members, close friends? I know, yes, about COVID, but you are going to have to find some way in which the child can get needed assistance at home. So I would want you now to try and collaborate with a family member, as I've said before. I don't remember who asked the question. Mommy, are you hearing me? Are you online? Are you hearing me?
Her name
Mommy?
is Shauna K. Shauna K. I
Is
remember.
she hearing? I don't know. Is she hearing me? Or she asked and she has fallen off. But then just to address others as well, parents, it is a real challenge. It's a real issue. Children are left at home. I heard the scenario of a parent who had to ask the teacher to look out for the child. No, the parent, the teacher, of course, is at home and the child is at home, but the parent is asking the teacher to take care of the child. It is a real issue. Again, Mommy, I can't overemphasize from your end, you're going to have to find somebody who can help this child at home, so that child can maintain his status in terms of the grades that he would have been getting.
Thank you, Mrs. Reed. Mrs. Reynolds, good evening. Unmute, please.
Yes. Good evening, everyone. Right. Just addressing the grade 4 parent who spoke a minute ago. Yes, we are aware of the challenges that you're all experiencing. And as a result of that, as a grade, we are working right now. We're in the process of really sorting through some printed materials that will be sent to you in a short while. We're working on it. We're putting a package together, and the package, what it will do, it will reinforce the areas that we have gone through, and yes, we do recognize that there are students who have not really mastered. So what this package will do, it will help the students to sort of grasp some more when they work on it at home. So yes, right now we're in the process of sorting that material. And you will be told by the class teacher when it is available for pickup. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Mrs. Reynolds. Mrs. Reynolds is a grade 4 coordinator, so grade 4 parents, I hope that you heard what she said. Please take that into consideration. Daniel Wisdom, are you able to unmute your microphone now? Daniel, please unmute. Daniela Wisdom. Keep raising your hand. Daniel, you're the last person to ask a question. Are you able to unmute your mic? Oh, Mr. Richards fell out the meeting as well. Okay, Shauna K, unmute, please. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. I asked a question earlier, Miss Reynolds. Mrs. Reynolds just addressed a part of the issue. The other part of the issue, the suggestion was made that if we can seek an adult in the household. My household is a mixed household. There are mainly children and grown folks. The elders are in their 70s and that age range, 80, them age range there. My challenge is that the persons here who are adults, they're just here to just oversee that they're not on the road and they're in class. They're not gadget friendly. So that's where my issue is. I have to leave them to their own devices. Sometimes them come out of the classroom, they're doing other things. So there's not really somebody to say that that will be able to monitor them or supervise them to ensure that they're always in the classrooms. So that's where my challenge is. I know other persons may have similar issues also. So I've tried many things. I'm trying to seek if he can get like I can source a grade 4 teacher to have like extra classes. So that's where my thing is right now. And that is also an additional cost. Also their gadgets are malfunctioning sometimes. So what I've been doing, my boss went overseas, so I've to put together money to get 2 new gadgets for them right now. So that won't be here until maybe next week or so. But I still try to ensure that they log in. We try to log them in before in the mornings, but I can't guarantee that they'll always be in the classroom for all the hours that classes will be there. So that's just my challenge that I'm trying to address.
But you heard what Mrs. Reynolds said, right? You did, right?
Yes, I did. So I've been in contact because Miss Reynolds is my son's teacher, and I've been trying to be in contact with her, and she gave me a few suggestions, and I also voiced my challenge that I had.
Okay. Mrs. Reed, you want to add anything?
No. I heard mommy's explanation. As I said before, the issue is real. And she's not alone in that plight.
Okay. All right, so we have come to the close of the question and answer segment. Oh, I have one question. Is there any update in the minister's address to the nation? She mentioned about the ministry's platform, which is the ministry use of the G Suite. Is there any update as it relates to our school using that platform? Miss, could you answer that question? I think Mr. Richards fell out, but is he back? Mrs. Reed?
No, I think Carthy, Mr. Spence, we're having just about the same issue with the LMS system in trying to get on with the G Suite. The last time I checked, the last time he spoke with me about his dialogue with the ministry, they are still working on it to see how best. Something has gone wrong, but they are, to the best of my knowledge, based on what he has told me, they are working assiduously to correct the problem. So until then, we have to continue with Zoom and with the Google Classroom. Some teachers still, that is why parents is so important that you dialogue with your child's teacher. Some teachers are still putting work on, in WhatsApp so that the parents can get access, because some still cannot access Google Classroom because of probably not enough data, and we understand that. So you may have the device, but you don't have enough data, or you have just one phone and you have to go out with it. But it's important that you always continue to dialogue with your children's or your child's teacher so that you can come up with the best solution for the child. But as it stands, no, we're still not on Google Suite. We're still not on because of the challenges.
Okay. I see one more hand raised. Oh, the hand went down. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. We have come to the end of our question and answer segment. Mrs. Carleen Brown. Mrs. Brown? Mrs. Carleen Brown? Can you please unmute your microphone, please?
Mr. Spence?
Yes, good evening, ma'am. Good evening.
Good evening.
Could you please close for us in prayer? And after that, we do the national anthem.
Father, we thank you. We thank you for today. We thank you for everything that has been done. We thank you for life. We thank you for bringing us together in this forum one more time as a body so that we could discuss matters concerning our children and our school. We thank you for everything that has been said and that has been implemented and will be implemented. And we also pray that our school will be open in short form, because many of us as parents, we have challenges. But Lord, we thank you for the challenges because some of them comes to make us a little more stronger. Lord, we thank you for everything that was said and done. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Amen, amen. Before I go, before we go to the national anthem, I want to give an opportunity if there is any final statement from our principal or vice principal to please do so now, and then we go to the national anthem. If not, we go to the national anthem. Sir, you're back. Sir Richards.
Not much, just to say on behalf of the entire administration and staff of the Clan Carthy, we're encouraging parents to just please, as best as they can, stay safe. And also ensure that your children are as safe as possible, right? I know we have concerns about education, but please understand that their safety is even more important right now. So please continue to be vigilant. COVID still a keep, it's real out there. Be vigilant, take every precaution you can. Be safe, keep on the mask, keep washing the hands, keep distancing, please stay safe. We want all of them to come back to school safe and sound.
Thank you, sir. Mrs. Reed, any parting words? She's not hearing me. Okay, parents, thank you for joining us today. I hope that your questions were answered and that you are better informed going forward as it relates to our school and relation to our children. Please take the opportunity, if you have missed this meeting, to rewatch the entire meeting on our YouTube platform. And if you have additional questions, feel free to ask your child's class teacher, or you can send your message in also our parents group, and I will forward answers on behalf of our principal and vice principal respectively. Can we please stand for the national anthem, please? Can we please stand for the singing of the national anthem? Thank you.
Eternal Father, bless our land. Guide us with thy mighty hand. Keep us free from evil powers. Be our light through countless hours. To our leaders, great defender, grant true wisdom from above. Justice to be ours forever. Jamaica land, we love Jamaica. Jamaica, Jamaica land we love. Teachers, true respect for all. Stir response to duty's call. Strengthen us the weak to change. Give us vision lest we perish. Knowledge sent us, Heavenly Father, grant true wisdom from above. Justice to be us forever. Jamaica land we love. Jamaica, Jamaica, Jamaica land we
Thank you very much. Have yourself a good evening. Blessings.